Today I'm going to be doing a video on like where I've been and what's been happening in my life for the past 2 months, because obviously I haven't uploaded. So let's get on to the video. This is quite like a sensitive subject for me to be talking about on YouTube, but I share everything with you guys, so I thought I'd make a video about it and see how it goes. Don't know if I'm going to upload it, but I'm going to film it, see how it turns out, and obviously if you're watching it then I've uploaded it, but I don't know if I'm going to or not. Basically, I left my house to go live with my boyfriend at his mate's house, and I'll give a story on why I did that. So basically, my mum had had enough of my boyfriend coming around and eating our food, because obviously my boyfriend's struggling to get a job, because obviously it's hard to get a job nowadays. Like, I've been trying to get a job myself. Like, I've been going to loads of interviews, I haven't got a single job, and it is really difficult to get a job nowadays because there's so many people trying to like apply for jobs. But yeah, so my boyfriend comes around every weekend, we like give him food and everything, but my mum had had enough of feeding him, because obviously, not gonna lie to you guys, we don't have like loads of money. We just have the average amount of money and just the right amount of money to be able to feed our family. So having obviously someone else here to feed is also hard, because obviously you're spending money on them too, and it's difficult, isn't it? So basically he came round and he was late, so we had to pick him up later, and then my mum just wasn't happy about it. So yeah, he didn't really eat that much the whole weekend, because I kept him going downstairs, you know, getting a bit of food and that. And then on the Sunday, which is the day that he would normally leave to go home, I went downstairs, made him some cereal, and my mum made a comment, and I was just like, what do you expect him not to eat? And she said yeah. And not gonna lie guys, I'm the sort of person where if you say a comment, especially about someone who I really love, I'm gonna go mad, you know, like I'm gonna go mental. Like expecting someone not to eat when they come round is, in my opinion, not right. Like, a human needs to eat, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't expect a human to come around your house and not eat. But anyways, so it all kicked off, and then my mum made a comment, and I came back upstairs to my room, and I was like, actually, give me 1 second. I went and said what I had to say about the situation, came back upstairs. I was like, I went to George, pack your bags, we're going, because I knew they were going to come. You know your parents, right? You know when they're going to come upstairs and say something. So I was like, pack your bag, we're going. He was like, what do you mean? He was like, I want to finish my cereal first, because it was really good cereal. It was like these white chocolate Cocoa Pops. I haven't tried them yet myself, because I went to try them, but obviously I couldn't. But anyways, so I was like, pack your bags, we're going. And then my mum comes upstairs and she's like, George, get out here. And then it all kicks off, and she goes to him, get out of my house. So I go to her. If he leaves, I leave. And so he packed his bags. I didn't have anything, and we left. And then they shouted a quite rude comment when we left, which I thought was a bit bang out of order, but you know, it happened. So we left, and then we walked to like the nearest station to me and got on the train to where we went and lived. I'm not actually going to mention like the places we went. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But yeah, so we got on the train and went up to another town, and we went to my boyfriend's mate's house where he had been living, and asked if I could stay, and he was just like, yeah, that's fine. So we stayed there for like a month, I think, 4 weeks to a month. I think 4 weeks is in a month, I don't know. But anyways, we went and stayed there. Yeah, it was nice. We were sleeping on the sofa, obviously not ideal, because we were living with my boyfriend's mate, his girlfriend and their baby. Obviously not ideal to have 2 teenagers sleeping on your sofa. Yeah, we had fun when we were living there. Went out every single day with like his mate, or his mate would go to work and we'd go out like after his mate finished work. And then basically one night their mate came over, and she didn't like something that we had done. So we spoke to her about it, and she said it was fine. And then like we explained the situation, then we kind of like explained the situation, and then kind of she was like, that's fine. So we thought like she was fine with it. And then that evening, like, his mates came over, we just like sat on the sofa, had chats, and then they went out to go buy some more drinks. Obviously I wasn't drinking because obviously I'm underage, so I can't drink, and plus I don't want to drink because I've had a bad experience on drinking. If you want to watch that video, I will leave a link if I remember. But yeah, I wasn't drinking, but they went out to go get more drinks because they were drinking, and then there was an instant while they went out, not going to mention that because obviously that's private and I'm not going to share someone else's private information on a channel which is not about them because they might not want me to do that. But anyways, so it's an incident happened while they were out, and then they came back, and the friend of whose house we were living at came in. She went to me and my boyfriend George, get out, and we kind of just sat there like, is she joking? Like, we looked at each other and we're like, is she joking? Bearing in mind it was like 3:30 in the morning, so we just kind of looked at each other like, is she joking? And she was like, no, genuinely, get out. She was like, go pack your bags and leave. So we went into the back room where we'd been keeping all our stuff because yeah, my nan and granny like been bringing me over like obviously my clothes and stuff because obviously I didn't have anything. So we packed our bags, and by the time we left it was 4 o'clock in the morning. So we walked downstairs because we were living like in this like flat thing, and yeah, we walked downstairs and there was a trolley, and obviously I was like so upset because I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I was like in tears, and then I saw a trolley and I was like, even though I was in like this bad frame of mind, didn't know what to do with myself, I was like, there's a trolley, look, let's be clever, let's put all our stuff in there, because obviously we had a lot of stuff. So we put basically we had like these big Sainsbury's bags, and we put them in there, and then we had a suitcase, so we took it in turns to push the trolley and pull the suitcase along, and we kind of set up the street, and we were like, what do we do now? Bearing in mind, by the time we got out, it was 4 a.m. and at 4 a.m. you can't really do much, can you? Because it's like nearly the morning, but it's also like the middle of the night at the same time, if you know what I mean. So we kind of just walked around, and then in the morning we went to this place called, don't know if I should mention the name of the place, but we went down there, and we said to them, we don't have anywhere to live. And they said to us both, how old are you? My boyfriend's 18, I'm 16. And she said, well, we can't do anything for you, because to do anything for you, we have to get child services involved. So my boyfriend got to have like this application thing where he got to sign up to live there. He got a place. Obviously I didn't, because basically I had to ring child services. So I did call child services, and they're not helpful at all. Like, you'd think they'd be helpful, right? They don't do anything to help me. They just kept on going, stay at another family member's house or something. But I was in that frame, you know when you're in that frame of mind where you don't want to go see family? I know it sounds quite harsh, but I was in that frame of mind where I didn't want to be around my family at that point in time. So I was just kind of like, that's not helpful. Like, surely you should be helping a 16-year-old girl who currently has nowhere to live for somewhere to stay, but they didn't. And my mum and dad and my brothers were on holiday, so I couldn't exactly come back home or anything. So yeah, I just was like, well, you're not helping me, so I left that place, and obviously I was so upset. Like, I didn't know what to do with myself, because, well, from that point, yeah, I was technically homeless. I didn't have anywhere to go live or anything. Well, I could have gone and stayed at my nan and granddad's, but you know when you're in that frame of mind, you don't want to go see family or anything. I just wanted to do it on myself. Like, I wanted to be independent in that point of time. I didn't want family to help me. I just wanted to be left alone. So for the whole day, me and my boyfriend just like chill. We were like, what are we gonna do? And then basically at this place he's staying, the curfew is 11 p.m. so he has to go in at 11. And he said to them, well, can I stay out tonight? And they were like, no, because it's your first night, so you have to stay here. So at 11 we say goodbye, and then he had to go inside, and I basically walked around the streets all night until he could come back out at 8:30. But yeah, I just walked around, and then basically I went and sat outside this place, like this big Tesco's place, because there's lots of light and it's 24-hour, and I felt I'll be safe there. But anyways, this lady like proper kept them staring at me, and I was like, that's a bit dodgy. Like, why does she keep staring at me? And then she's like on the phone for like a really long time, and like when she's talking on the phone, she like proper keeps like staring at me. I'm like, that's a bit dodgy. So I pick up all of my bags, because obviously I have quite a lot of bags with me. So I pick them all up and start walking around the corner, and that is when I see like five like police cars. There was like 3 undercover and then 2 like non-undercover ones, like proper come around the corner. I was like, okay then. So I literally bolted it around the corner. Then I hid like, basically there was like these flats at the top bit, and I hid in like this dark corner until I thought they'd all gone, and then I just like walked around and sat behind this wall, and then I went and sat back outside of the place where my boyfriend was staying, and I literally FaceTimed my mate all night. And then at 5 a.m. my phone died. I was like, oh great. So I had to sit there for like 3.5 hours without a phone, just sitting there. And basically, because I hadn't had any sleep since like the Saturday night, I was hallucinating. So I kept on hallucinating that it was like people staring at me, and then I hallucinated that 7 cats ran past me. And that is scary, like that is some scary sort of stuff. And I just kept on hearing loads of noises, and it was proper scary. Like, I was obviously scared like anyone else would be, do you know what I mean? And then he came out at 8:30 and we chilled, and that night he was going to be allowed to stay out because you're allowed to have 3 nights out a week, but obviously because it's his first night he wasn't allowed to stay out. And it was like, yeah, we'll stay out tonight. And then we bumped into the people who we originally was staying at, and they were like, what are you doing? So we explained like the situation, and they were like, well, you can come stay at ours for like tonight. So that night me and my boyfriend went and stayed there. We went round there at like 11:30 I think, because before that we were like hanging around with like mates and stuff. And then yeah, we went there at 11:30 and slept there till the morning. And then that evening I actually did go stay at my nan's. I went and stayed at my dad's mum's house, and yeah, I went round there at like 10:30ish, and then basically we went back to where we were staying before, like the town we were staying in. And then basically that night my boyfriend was supposed to be staying out with me, but he couldn't because he went back there, and basically the night before he'd gone out, so they said, you can't stay, you're not allowed to stay out tonight. So then obviously I got really upset because I didn't know what to do, because obviously I was going to be on myself again outside, which is scary. Like, being outside on yourself at night is scary. Not gonna lie, like I could sit here and go to you guys, oh, it wasn't scary trying to act like all hard and that, but it is scary. Like, it is really scary to be outside on the streets on yourself. Yeah, so obviously I got annoyed. I texted the person whose house we'd been staying at. I was like, oh, can I come over, have a chat and that? And I went over there and they said that I could stay for the night. And then in the morning my dad texted me and he was like, oh, we're coming back from holiday today. Can we please meet? At first, obviously, I was a bit like, no, because you went on holiday when I've been out on the streets homeless, and you've gone on holiday and had a nice time, and I just was like, no, like, I'm not going to go home. But then he said he'd bring my dog, and I absolutely missed my dog, like, so much. Like, she's currently sitting on my bed, like, I love her so much. Like, I'm not going to lie, yeah, she is, like, the main reason why I did decide to come back home. So yeah, on the Friday, my dad was like, oh, let me come meet you. So I met him at Burger King, and then we went and picked up all my stuff from where the place my boyfriend was living, because most of my stuff was there. And then I came home, and basically my anxiety, like, wasn't very good. Like, my head was messed up. Like, my head was proper messed up, because obviously all that stuff had happened, and then I'd come home to a place where I don't really want to be. Yeah, so my head was like probably messed up, and I just kind of sat in bed. Basically, on the Saturday, which obviously I slept in my bed for one night, and yeah, I just wasn't happy. Like, I wasn't myself, and I literally didn't want to be here anymore. And I know that sounds quite pathetic, because people have more severe things happening in their life than being homeless for like a few days and then coming back to your house. But I just didn't feel like I belonged in my house anymore, because obviously I'd been gone for so long. I just didn't feel like I belonged there. So I just felt like I was I know I was welcome, but I just didn't really feel it. I just felt like I wasn't supposed to be in this house. I feel like I wasn't like supposed to be living there. I felt like I was supposed to be living somewhere else. So it kind of messed with my head, and I wasn't eating or drinking. Like, I hadn't eaten since the Wednesday, and this was now Saturday. And anyways, I went down into the cupboard downstairs and tried to get some paracetamol, but my dad caught me, so then I had to go to my room and they had to like hide all the medication. And then I was sitting in my bed and I remembered that I had some medication in my bag, so I did take a few of them, but I went downstairs and I was just like, not gonna lie, I have just taken a few pills out of my bag. And they were like, well, what are we meant to do now, Charlie? I was like, nothing, just leave me alone, because obviously I didn't want to be here. But anyway, so they did leave me alone, and then on the Sunday, I still wasn't eating or drinking, and they came upstairs in the morning once I woke up, and they were like, if you don't eat or drink today, then we're gonna have to take you to hospital, Charlie, like, there's no other choice. But I didn't want to go to hospital, and I didn't want to eat and drink, so I was in a sticky situation. Anyways, yeah, so they went to the shop and made me drink some smoothie, but I just made myself go be sick after they'd given me the smoothie, because obviously I didn't want to eat and drink, because if you don't eat and drink, then it will shut down your body and eventually you'll die. And I was just like, I don't care, that's what I want to do. So yeah, I didn't want to eat and drink, so when they were making me drink, they would literally sit here, watch me drink, and if I didn't drink, then they wouldn't leave. But obviously I wanted them to leave, so I used to drink the drink, and then I used to go make myself chunda, either in my bin, outside, or in the bathroom. Yeah, because I just didn't want to keep it down. And then basically, eventually they found out that I was doing that, because obviously it was in the back garden on the floor and splattered in the sink. I did try to clean up the sink, but it was very difficult. So yeah, and then basically they bought me like this Tango ice drink, and yeah, it was quite nice, so I kept on drinking it. But basically, sitting on my side was some hydroperoxide, which is what I cleaned some of my piercings with. So I kind of had a look at it, and then kind of looked over on my bed, but I saw my dog sitting there, and I was like, I can't drink this in front of my dog. So I picked up my dog and put her outside of my bedroom, because like her looking at me was just putting me off. So I picked her up, put her outside my bedroom, sat there for a few minutes, and then I drank like half the bottle, and then I squeezed the other half of the bottle into my Tango Ice Blast and sat there drinking it. And then I texted my dad saying, I'm sorry, you hid all the medication, so I've drunk hydroperoxide. So obviously they come upstairs and tell me now I have no choice, I have to go to the hospital. So my older brother made me get in the car with my mum, and then my mum went and picked up my nan, and we had to go down to the hospital. And when I was in the hospital, we had to go to the A&E, and literally got me in like so quickly. Like they had to weigh me, do my blood pressure, all that jazz, and then I had to be put on like these heart monitor things, I think they're called, like, you know, those sticker things, and they put like these crocodile clips on them. I had to be on them for like ages, and my heart rate was like quite high. And then George messaged me, and then basically my heart, this is quite funny, this part, like my heart, basically George like messaged me off his mate's phone saying that he was going to call me, and then my heart rate went like really fast, and then like this nurse came and she was like, oh, what's happening? And I was like, oh, don't worry, it's just like her boyfriend texting her, so she's got really like excited. So like my heart went up so high, so they'd like put the heart rate monitor thing outside the room thing. And then basically after like 3 hours they could take me off it, and then I had to go into like this observation room where it's like this room, and then it's got like a hospital bed in it, and you just kind of sit in it. And yeah, so my dad stayed one night. No, my dad stayed the first night, the second night, and then I think on the third night I got moved up to the child's ward, because basically at this point they weren't going to let me go home until I ate or drank something, because, well, actually on the second day of being in hospital I did drink something, or was it the third day? It was either the second or third day. I did drink something. I had some Tango. And then, yeah, I've kind of got the story a bit mixed up now, because I basically, right, when I tell a story, I kind of go on to a different subject of the story and get a bit carried away with that, and then I'm like, wait, I missed out that part of the story, so yeah. And then basically I had like obviously people come in and see me, like I don't know what they're called. I don't remember. Like people that help people with like mental health and stuff. And then when I went upstairs to the other room, they made a dietitian come in and see me, and she gave me like these diet drinks, because she was like, if you're not eating, then you got to drink these. I had a sip of one, and they were disgusting. But yeah, on the third night, I think my dad stayed for 2 nights, and then on the third night he couldn't. Yeah, on the third night I had to have someone watch me, and then on that night I was moved up to a different, like I got moved up to the ward, because originally I was like in an observation unit. I think it was an observation unit. I don't know if it's definitely called that, but I think it was an observation unit in the A&E part. But then obviously that you're not supposed to be in the A&E part for more than like 24 hours, I think it is. So they moved me up to the ward, where I had like my own room again, bit smaller this time, but you can't complain. It's a hospital room, like no one wants to be in hospital anyway. But anyways, yeah, it was like a room with a bed, TV, all that sort of stuff. And then yeah, so at night I'd have someone watching me. But when I got moved up to the ward, right, I made a joke saying, oh, can you push me around in a wheelchair? Like, you know, at first, like, it'd be quite fun to be pushed around in a wheelchair, right? So they pushed me around in a wheelchair, and then and then the next day, I wanted to walk, because obviously it wasn't as fun anymore. Going in a wheelchair for the first time was fun, but no, not again. Then they wouldn't even let me walk, and I got so annoyed. I was like, but I want to walk now. Like, I want to walk to go downstairs, because obviously I've just been sitting in bed. Like, one of the days, I looked on my app. Like, on your phone, you have an app where it like tells you how many steps you've done. On one of the days, I only did 100 steps. And like, that's like nothing. So yeah, they would push me down in a wheelchair if I wanted to go outside. And then on I think it was the Wednesday. Yeah, the Wednesday, George came up and saw me at like 9 o'clock at night. He cycled up there to come see me, and he was like, if you don't eat something, then I'm not gonna come up and like visit you. Like, he was like, you need to eat, because like he knows if he tells me I need to eat or he's not gonna come see me, then I'll eat something, you know, like, because I want to see him. So yeah, the next day I ate a few crisps, and then they let me go home. They let me go home. So after I got to go home, I went and met George, and then yeah, and then basically I'm supposed to go to like other meetings about talking about how I'm feeling, but I don't like talking about how I'm feeling. Like, I'm not a very open person, if you know what I mean. I don't really express my feelings. I kind of like to keep them into myself, which I know is the wrong thing to do, because by keeping things and thoughts and feelings into yourself, it kind of like traps them, and then they kind of get worse. But if you let them out, then it does help. But I don't know, I'm not really sort of person that likes expressing my feelings and stuff, because I don't know, I just like kind of keeping things to myself. But yeah, so that's kind of the background of what my life has been like for the past 2 months, I think. And then I've been going to like a few job interviews, haven't got any, so I've given up on that now. Like, I've been to like 5 job interviews. I know that's not a lot, but when they keep like not hiring me, like basically the last job interview I went to, I really thought I was gonna get it, and then I didn't get it, so it kind of put me down and just made me feel like no jobs wanted me. But hey ho, yeah, so that's all really I have to talk about today. Again, I don't know if this video is gonna go up, but I don't know, I'll have a look when I edit it, but if it does, then I'm going to upload this on the same day as I've just filmed it, because I didn't really want to film for like ages, but then like when I woke up this morning, I was kind of like, I want to do like a little story time on where I've been gone for the past 2 months. It wasn't because I wanted to stop YouTube. For starters, where I was living, I didn't really have anywhere I could film a YouTube video, because I didn't have any of my like equipment, so the lighting would be bad, the quality of the videos wouldn't be very good, and that's not what I'd want. So I thought there's no point uploading some rubbish video just to upload, do you know what I mean? And then when I got back, I wasn't really in the right frame of mind to film, but today I woke up and felt like I wanted to film a little story time video about my past 2 months. So yeah, so thank you for this video. Hope you guys enjoy. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully my next video will not be as boring. I don't know, is this a boring sort of video? I don't know. Hopefully it won't be as depressing. Hopefully it'll be a more fun video. I don't know. So yeah, so thank you for watching. Oh, also, before I say thank you for watching, also thank you so much for getting me to 6k subscribers. It means a lot. Like, it means a lot. Like, I don't really know what else to say. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Bye.